This is my latest TOEFL score. 6, 6, 6, wait, 5.5 out of 6. Well, I'm far from complaining. I'm beyond happy with my score. But in hindsight, this shows me that there's always room for improvement. Looking back, there are two things I wish I had done to score 6 out of 6 on the speaking section. So, number one, I wish I had spent more time practicing the speaking tasks. And in my case, especially task number one, the listen and repeat task. Now, let's talk about my biggest mistake on the listen and repeat task. The speaking scoring guide says the response exactly repeats the prompt. And I'll emphasize this, I'll highlight it. Exactly. So, what happened was, as the sentences got longer and more complex, I had a really hard time remembering the words. I always joke with my students that I have very poor short-term memory, and I do. I mean, we're all different, right? And even in Portuguese, my first language, when I'm asked to say something to someone else, to relay a message, I always paraphrase it. I never remember every single word. And there were two or three even, I can't even remember now, but probably 2 to 3 instances where I could remember all the words, and at first I went blank and then I tried to paraphrase it. So I am 100% sure that that hurt my score. And yeah, I don't like this kind of task very much. I've seen other people say online that they like this. Yeah, not my favorite, but I did learn a very useful strategy afterwards, and I'm going to teach you right now. I learned this strategy from Joseph at Noteful TOEFL Mastery. I think that's the name of his program, or his YouTube channel actually. So basically, you draw several lines. So if you have like a piece of scratch paper or your whiteboard, so if you take the home edition, for example, you have to use a whiteboard or something that you can easily erase, right? With a dry erase marker. So you'll draw several lines and 4 hash marks down each line. Well, honestly, I think you can adapt this strategy to whatever works best for you, but I find this to be very useful. And then you write down the first letter of each word you hear. So for example, if you hear something like, the animals and petting zoo are to the right. So you would write the animals. And so pretty fast, right? I mean, I'm not very good at this drawing on the computer, but on your piece of paper, your whiteboard, the animals and petting zoo, oh so yeah, so draw 4, right, are to the right. Okay, so you try writing that down really fast. However, if this distracts you, if you're really good at remembering words, my husband is a Spanish English interpreter, so this is a breeze for him. Like, he remembers things really well, and also of course he's been practicing this for a long time because he's always relaying information, always translating, interpreting what providers and patients say. So he remembers every single word exactly. He has to be accurate, right? So I am not like that. I'm usually paraphrasing things. I usually don't have to say exact words unless I memorize them. I have time to memorize them. And so doing this ensures me that I have all the right words, that I won't skip any words or perhaps change words and use synonyms. That's the curse of having a pretty advanced English, is that you have so much vocabulary that you are actually able to paraphrase. And yeah, that can actually hurt your score. I That's why I don't like this task. But anyways, give this a try. Let me know in the comments if this is helpful. By the way, I haven't introduced myself, so if you're new here, welcome. My name is Nathaly. I'm an English teacher and I help English learners navigate their way to fluency without fear or overwhelm. So if you're new to the channel, you can subscribe and click the bell icon for more videos about the English language, phrasal verbs, and TOEFL, of course. And if you want to learn more about my classes, my courses, check out the link in the description below. I won't spend too much time on the take an interview task, but I'll encourage you to check out the speaking scoring guide, because this is where you see what's required of you to be able to score higher. To get a high score, you need to fully address the question, and then the response has to be well elaborated, good conversational speaking pace. So that's also important, right? Speaking more naturally with proper rhythm and intonation, a range of accurate grammar and vocabulary. And of course, if you have any questions about this, drop them in the comments. But yeah, that was fine. I thought I did well on the interview. I really had a hard time with task 1. The second thing I wish I had done was I wish I had been calmer. That's it, simple. Let me give you a little bit of background. So I took the home edition of the test and we had a lot of issues getting started. I couldn't get my camera at a right angle right away. My desk was too small. Basically, my office where I usually work didn't really qualify or didn't meet the requirements for the home edition, because they have to be able to see the door behind you. And I work in my attic upstairs, so there was no way. I don't really have a door up there. I have stairs to go up there. So down in my basement, it gets to be really loud sometimes, especially when the heater is on or the AC. So then my bedroom was the best option, but my desk didn't fit in my bedroom. It's humongous, so I had this small desk and I thought that was gonna be fine, but of course it wasn't. It was too small, and because of that I had trouble getting the camera at a right angle, so it took us a long time to get started. We figured it out eventually, and I was really like breathing so hard because I even tried to bring the big desk into my bedroom and I couldn't, and that was really heavy. So I walked into my room like panting and breathing hard, and the proctor was like, "Ma'am, could you please drink a glass of water?" A glass of water. I was really like, oh, exhausted by the time I started the test. And then I also had trouble understanding the proctor. I was not used to her English variety, and so yeah, that was another issue too. It took me a little bit to get used to it, but eventually it was okay. And then when I was answering the listening questions, something went wrong. The TOEFL app just closed on me, and we had to restart the app several times to get it to work. And so by the time I got to the speaking section, I was exhausted. I was like, I have nothing left. And then I was worried about my kids because I had to pick my kids up from daycare, and everything took way longer than expected. Looking back, I think I did pretty well overall, but I wish I had better mechanisms for, controlling my breathing and just remaining calm. That makes a difference. Seriously, when you're calm, you can think clearly. It makes a difference. So this is why when I developed my new TOEFL program, I've decided to have 3 pillars, and one of them is emotional intelligence, because I've seen this throughout the years. So many learners have this amazing, beautiful, really advanced English, but when they're taking a test, they get so nervous, and then they're unable to use that English they have to answer the questions and achieve the score they need. Of course, there's no one size fits all emotional strategy. We're all different. I'd say you can also use all your energy and anxiety in these moments to your advantage as well. There's so many strategies you can use. But yeah, I wish I had been calmer. I wish I had learned to breathe better, even though I know so many different breathing techniques. For some reason, I didn't do that. I don't know. I was just really tired and frustrated. So yeah, remember to stay calm on test day. Like, seriously, that's one of the best things you can do for yourself. Well, I hope this video resonates with you. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer them in the comments. I honestly didn't want to just do a rehash of all the TOEFL speaking videos out there. There's a lot of great content, great tips, but I'm like, well, what else can I say to the learners? I don't want them to just watch the same thing and waste their time. I really value your time. As a busy person, I know that time is very important. So let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer them, and hope to see you in my next video. Oh, by the way, I also have a free Google Classroom group that you can join, and it's a community of English learners, TOEFL takers, curious learners, English teachers, anybody who just loves English and is trying to improve their English. You can join that for free. Just click the link in the description below. Okay, see you next time. Bye.